Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee and welcome to my channel. The plan for our video today is to create alcohol ink effects in resin pieces without using alcohol inks. And this was inspired by Flowing Art with Amy and her video entitled Trying My Favourite Mica Resin Jewellery Technique. The resin I'm using today is an Anko Craft resin. It's an epoxy 2:1 and it's a quite watery resin, and I thought that would help with the process. The pigments I'm using are just resin luster pastes because they give such a beautiful rich colouring, and I thought I'd try that instead of the micas. So the first one I'm using here is saffron. And just look at that colour, I love this one. So I'm mixing a little bit into some resin that I've decanted in different cups. The next one is gold. This one is rose gold. And you'll see as I stir it in, it has that beautiful pink lustre to it. And the last one is ruby. Another gorgeous colour. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Pixie Magic, which is just resin product as well. It's a very fine glitter to a little cup for use later. I'm going to be using 99% isopropyl alcohol, popping a little bit into a small container, and then using a pipette, adding a little bit to each of the colours. I have filled these moulds about halfway with clear resin, and now I'm just going through with my pipette, adding each colour a few drops at a time. And I do go in occasionally and add a little bit more alcohol to the mixture if I think that the resin isn't sort of blending enough. The evening I watched this video was the same evening that I started this project. I was so excited and so captivated by what she showed, and I was just determined to give it a try. In the video, they use the mica powders, but as I said, I'm using the Just Resin Luster pastes just because I thought I'd like to try something a little bit different as well. So as I go, I'm just layering up all the different colours, starting off with very neat drops, and then as the night went on, I guess they became a little bit more abstract and random. But I'm really loving watching those little, like it's dancing almost, the alcohol interacting with the resin and the pigments there. These pipettes are very handy for small work like this. You can get quite a lot for a fairly small amount of money. This is the Pixie Magic resin mix that I just added to those earring moulds that I made up in the beginning. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some drops to these other moulds. Now I did half fill these with resin, apart from, did you notice? That middle one there, the middle heart, and the heart in the middle on the left-hand side. I forgot, but let's just pretend that that was part of my great master plan and an experiment to see how that would affect the outcome. Oh dear, it was very late at night, or very early in the morning by now. So I've got various different moulds that I'm filling up, and I'm just going to go through. Sometimes it was interesting for me to layer up with darker colours first, or then to try the lighter colours first, because I did want to be able to look at the pieces at the end and learn what made the best possible outcome for me. I'm just absolutely mesmerised. I think I've said it before. It just is very captivating to watch this all happen right before your eyes. There was no chance I was going to bed. on time this evening. So here I'm just adding a little bit of Pixie Magic to some clear resin and then some alcohol, and I just thought I'd try and see what happened with that. And then with the remaining clear resin, I top up those two hearts that I just directly put the pigments into. And then I finish off that clear resin by adding some of that beautiful rose gold luster paste from Just Resin and fill up those moulds. And I also tipped a tiny little bit into my mousse mould. So as I'm looking at these as they've fully cured, I'm so happy with them, but I can see straight away they're quite translucent and they do need a backing. So here I'm going to go ahead with some more Just Resin luster paste. The first one I've used here is Midnight Violet. Isn't that gorgeous? This one is Raspberry. And I'm mixing up Carbon Black. And then the last colour for backing is Gold. I really don't have a great deal of experience in backing different colours, so I thought I would just have a go and see which ones appealed to me. So I'm just choosing ones fairly much at random and going ahead and filling them up to the top. I did notice when I demould, you'll see that some of the larger hearts, you can see a couple of millimetres of the backing around the edge. And I didn't necessarily love that look. So in hindsight, I could have filled them a little bit more. I also go ahead and add some of that Pixie Magic to some of the leftover resin for backing. I also have a practice with some holographic black glitter, and I also use another beautiful Just Resin very fine glitter powder called Midas, and so I add that in too just to see all of the different effects I can get. Just going back to the resin that I'm using today, as I mentioned, it is the Anko Craft Resin. And Anko is a brand in Australia. I'm not sure if it's everywhere else around the world, and it belongs to our Kmart chain of stores. It's a 2-part epoxy resin with a 2-to-1 mix. It is very cheap for a small box. It's certainly not economical if you're making a lot, but I have had quite a few people ask me how they could get into making resin pieces quite cheaply, just to see if they like it or not. And so I thought I would give this resin a try just to see what sort of outcome we have. And I've really only used, I haven't even used the entire kit up to this point. And the box comes with the spatula, nitrile gloves and 2 measuring cups, as well as the instructions as well. So it really is fairly good value for a beginner, just to see how they feel about it. They also sell moulds and different pigments, etc. So now they are fully cured, and wow, I could not be happier. They are just stunning. That one there, you can see it does have that darker colour around the edge, which I didn't love. Now, interestingly, this one and the next one have the teeniest, tiniest little holes, pinholes, and so they were the two that I didn't lay down a little bed of resin for. So I won't be doing that again. Just so happy with the depth in these and just, yeah, the sheer beauty, and all without using any alcohol inks or worrying about sinker whites or anything like that. These earrings are just stunning. They really look like amber. They're just beautiful. Just a tiny little bit of overflow there, very easy to pull off. And again, this smaller pair of earrings, just a tiny little bit of overflow there. But again, that gorgeous, rich, lustrous colour coming through. Now, you didn't see me pour these, but these were, I ended up mixing up the rest of the resin just so that I could go in and fix up. I did have to, as the saying goes, rob Peter to pay Paul to fill some of the moulds towards the end. So this was my payback. And just some little earring toppers there. Now these are the ones that are just clear resin with the Pixie Magic, and I'm so happy with those. They just catch the light and sparkle beautifully. So now I'm going to go ahead and have a look at the earring moulds. These ones here, the fourth piece that I take out was just a little bit sticky. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, whether the mould was damp when I put the resin in that little just piece. I really don't know. But I'm so happy with how these all turned out. This pair here I poured with the rose gold luster paste from Just Resin, and these were the ones that I made up just using the leftover clear. And I could not be happier with them. They are going to look so gorgeous when they're made up. And the same with these gold and black pieces. They really look almost matte on the front, almost machine-like. I can't wait to see those ones made up. They are so unique and beautiful. So now I'm going to move on to the pendant mould. And again, I'm just getting these beautiful amber vibes from these. I did find though, there were a couple that just felt a little bit sticky. So you will see me magically change into wearing gloves here. You should always put your safety top priority when working with resin. When I'm working with cured resin, I don't mind using my bare hands, but if there's any hint of uncured resin, and you know that can show by being slightly sticky feel, best to pop some gloves on. So yes, these are coming out really pretty. I can definitely see those lovely layers of colours. Now the last two that I demoed from this one are unfortunately probably my least favourite. And if you remember from the making part of the video, they were the first two that I placed any pigmented resin into. And I think the reason I don't like them as much is because I hadn't added enough alcohol at that stage and the colour just sort of blobbed. Technical term, I'm not sure. These smaller hearts are just gorgeous. These are flat front and back. They're not curved like the first set of hearts, and I will be excited to see if these make up some pretty magnets. And they are all coming out in just, they almost look delicious. They're so glossy and so shiny, and they have so much depth and dimension. These are a few little extra ones I poured after filming with just some the final leftover pieces of resin. So this video will have a part 2, a sequel if you like, and in that part 2 video I will show you how I go ahead and finish off these pieces. I'll turn some into magnets and add findings to others to make some beautiful pieces of jewellery. So keep an eye out for that next video. As always, I'm so grateful for anyone watching. It means a lot to me. If you did enjoy it, you could give me a thumbs up and like, share it with some of your crafty friends, comment below. I love reading the comments, and subscribe to my channel. So these pieces, next time you see them, they'll be being turned into some beautiful wearable art. Thank you again. Bye for now.